right.
All right, I'm recording it. I cannot edit videos. I suck at technology.
I'll see if I can get that edited for you. Hello, world.
Hi, world. Welcome to the Mickey Mouse Show. No, just kidding. I love doing impersonations.
Disney wouldn't have us because we destroy it. Don't make me assume my ultimate form, Ursula.
Yeah, Ursula. Yeah, with all the tentacles everywhere. Oh, so funny. Welcome, everybody. If you're new to this channel, I am Kimberly Palm. I have with me my BFF and sister, Reverend Sarah Nash. She's of course, my soul sister, not my blood sister, but we could be blood sisters. You never know. We were definitely blood sisters in past lifetimes. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple of them. And off-world too.
Off-world big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
So anyways,
we're here to save you.
Yeah, we are here to save you. We came, we signed up, we took the call. We took the call to rescue the planet.
I tried not answering the call just a few days ago. I was like, no, I'm leaving. And I got sucked back into it.
You got sucked. I know, that was me. Every day I say, I'm going to quit. I don't want to do this anymore. And then I go, oh, damn it. I got to do it. Right? I got to do it.
It's in the terms and conditions of our contract.
Do you know how many times I tell Yeshua, I quit, damn it. I can't take
legal
it anymore.
Doom. I need to research the terms and conditions of my contract.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Thank you for, we were talking earlier texting. And I'm just like, I'm telling Kimberly about all of the stuff that I've been dreaming, especially last night. Was friggin' mind blowing, which is like, and I knew it wasn't a dream. Like, you can kind of tell the difference between.
I can tell the difference between a dream and
this was like, I'm sitting here and I'm driving through the desert, and there's these like mud balls that are floating in the air. They look like they're exploded balloons, but they're just, and they have like these really intricate patterns, like crop circle patterns. And guess who's sitting shotgun with me? You, Kimberly.
Yeah, right.
And you're like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, we'll have to tell them about the vampires in Russia too.
Well, and that came next. So, I mean, and then I was like, and then you were speaking Russian. We were speaking, I know we were speaking Russian.
We were speaking Russian.
And I was like trying to we were in some kind of truck, like a Mack truck, actually. Like, it was like a big truck. And I know, because it had it had a trailer on it, darling, one of those big ones. And so Kimberly, she's like telling, why don't you aim for the little exploded mud balls that are like floating in the air?
Yeah.
So I'm like trying it, and we're just like, and I realized we got people in the back because we're rescuing them. Some friggin' vampires.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was getting darker. And it was like I was hitting this horizon. And Kimberly, you went, oh, we gotta go. We gotta stop messing around. It was so real. It was so real. And we ended up going to this, it was like this, oh my God, like the only way I can describe it is like a Turkish cafe, but it was like half underground and half above because everything had been exploded. There were like barracks everywhere. And I know then that this was a timeline that we had jumped. That this is the timeline that we were going to be in.
Yeah, that was the one that we would have been in. We would have been in that timeline if we.
And I don't want to drive through Russia in a Mack truck with you ever. Like, no, God, I'll go ahead and take this timeline. But there were vampires, people.
Lots of them. They were everywhere and they were killing everybody.
And they were killing everyone. And that's why we had people. And I know my son was also in the back because he was pounding on. He was like, "You're a terrible driver, Mom. Stop it." And yeah, that would be a dream, but no, we were rescuing people and
Mhm.
getting them to certain places, and we had to get them there. They didn't come after us though. And that was the weirdest thing, Kimberly and everyone. Like, I knew that when I came face to face, because we were getting rid of, not rid, okay, we were helping the people in the back of the truck get into the underground bunker area. And Kimberly, you were just talking to these vampires, like, and you were sipping on something. Like you had like this, I don't know what they called it cava rosa or something. I don't know.
I was
That's
drinking some
definitely not
weird,
Russian, but it
yeah.
was, and I looked it up earlier. I should have written it down.
I was definitely drinking something. Yeah.
Yeah, not blood
And
dye.
needing to go to a bathroom really bad and couldn't find one anywhere.
That and these vampires, they knew that they couldn't do anything to us. Because we
Yeah.
would like obliterated them. So we were kind of like taunting them while everybody else was getting out of the truck because they didn't know. And we were just like, wow, dos vidanya, motherfucker. You know?
Yeah.
And when Kimberly, when you said you had that same, I was just like, you can't. We were typing, people. We were texting back and forth to each other too quickly for
Uh-huh.
it to have been like, one of those, oh, I dreamt that too. No, this wasn't dreaming
No.
about sandwiches. Okay. This was so specific that it
Yeah, it
was
was
mind
the
blowing.
vampires in Russia. And then I even told them, I said, my family is Russian aristocrats and you can't mess with me, you fuckers, you know?
And I'm like, you need to stop it. You need to stop it because it's going to get ugly and we need to get the people. And you were like, la la la. Just like, and you would. This is why I gotta love
I
you.
wasn't afraid of them. I'm never afraid. When
No,
I'm
I
traveling the
wasn't either. I was
multiverse,
afraid
I'm
that they'd
never
find the
afraid.
people and I mean, it's messy.
Yeah.
I mean, True Blood isn't too far off, man. They do explode.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm no Suki. Suki.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And, people need to understand too, or understand that vampires are real. They've
Oh,
been living all over
100% they
this
are.
earth for millions of years. It's not okay. Everything that you've been shown in what they call science fiction movies is actually the truth.
Pretty
It's
much.
yeah,
And
it's
and
actually the truth. So even Frankenstein, they've been doing that kind of shit with experimenting with humans, going back to Enki and Enlil. I mean, Enki and Enlil were the original Dr. Frankensteins, okay? Genetically manipulating humans and resurrecting people from the dead and doing all, they've been doing that since Egyptian times too.
well, no,
So,
we've been doing that
yeah.
longer. I mean, we've been
Mhm.
doing that since
For
as
millions
long
of
as
years.
the Lemurians and the
Right.
Atlanteans and the
Yeah.
other the civilizations that have been
Mhm.
here in alternate timelines as well.
Mhm.
We can't, okay, when I say we, I'm talking about myself. I can no longer ignore this. I've been ignoring it for too long. I've been like, oh, yo, shush, la 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 la. You know me, I don't listen to everything. Now I'm listening.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Tell me all your stuff because I've been pulled in. I've been pulled in. And
Yep.
what I saw, okay, so everyone, Kimberly told me that she had spoken with her brother, Isa, Yeshua. And I occasionally fight with him. Like, listen, dude, you got to give me some answers. But the thing is, in all true respect, some of the things that she said to me didn't resonate with me a couple of weeks ago. Was a couple of weeks ago? Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, and I was just like,
Yeah.
yo, no, no. And she said there's going to be an earthquake, there's and other things. And
Mhm.
I just went, no, I'm not seeing that. I'm not buying into it. And I'm really glad I did. Okay. Number one, I'm really glad I did because when I was shown after the fact, because post eclipse show, folks, I was given the information and I was literally shown in a vision what was going to happen. And
Mhm.
this is where it gets really serious.
Mhm.
This is our serious stuff.
Try
But
not to cry.
I didn't get sad though, like you did,
Yeah.
Kimberly. I got really angry because what I saw were
Yeah.
billions of people suffering and dying. There was
Yeah.
there was a hole, a crack that opened up in the United States, like down the middle, because you said,
Yeah, I saw that. He was showing it to me. This basically the whole middle of the country just
it made the
bye-bye.
Grand
Yeah.
Canyon look like a little crack in the
Yeah, it
sidewalk,
looked like a
folks.
little tiny crack. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
I saw how Northern America, and I mean into Canada, I mean, they were pretty safe.
Yep.
Like everybody was making this mass exodus. The Eastern coast was gone, just gonzo.
Yeah, absolutely gone. New York
Oregon
gone.
and California were like tilting and sliding in. Where I am at the tip of the Puget Sound, I was like walking around with my kneecaps in the water. And I'm like in a an inlet on Discovery Bay, and everything I saw, I just and I'm like, oh, oh, like I'm but it was awful, people. I mean, really, it was awful. And now I'm crying. Now I'm getting
Yeah,
depressed.
millions of people were going to be dead. Everybody, we want you to understand that the timeline we were on up until the 7th was that on the 8th, the Dark Ones had planned to basically rip the whole nation to shreds, and destroy
Not just us
everything.
though,
The rest of the
everywhere.
planet, yeah, too. Yeah, a
And
lot of it.
I mean,
Yeah.
the way I saw it, there was a piece of a comet or something, and I didn't ask for all the
That
details.
was that devil comet. It's the devil comet because they were going to shoot rockets. Okay, so here's what they were going to do. The devil comet was supposed to come in front of the sun right at the eclipse. And then right at that moment, they were shooting 3 rockets, which they named after, what was it? The ancient Egyptian god of destruction or death or whatever the hell that was. They actually named their project with these 3 rockets after that. I can't remember the name of it. People will come on the comments and say what it was.
Yeah,
But
I'm
they were,
drawing a blank right now too, which is really odd because I
yeah.
love my Egyptian. We've talked about
Right.
them. Just like,
Yep.
okay, well, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what they named it, because
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Well,
An extinction level event was
yes, it was an
planned.
extinction level event that
It,
was planned. And I didn't tell you all this, and because I don't want to scare. See, my big thing is I don't like to do what they call fear porn. I don't like to
yeah,
worry or scare people.
I
So
don't
I
either.
did not share with you when I came on with Michaela. I shared with you a tiny bit of the info I gave you because I didn't
You
want you
shared with
all.
me,
Yeah. But I shared it with her.
and
I
I
didn't
was
want to
like,
cause
no, no,
panic and
no, no, that's not going
uproar,
to happen.
with everybody freaking out. I didn't want you to be freaking out because I knew that it was going to be taken care of. Because when I asked him, are you going to allow this? They said, well, we might, allow some of it to wake people up, but no, we're not going to allow the
That's
mass
exactly what
destruction
you
of
said
the,
to me, and that's
yeah,
what really upset me.
yeah.
Remember, I got really
Mhm.
upset about that, and I'm like, that sounds like manipulation. And
Yeah.
and in fact, I even told my husband, I'm like, I don't know who Kimberly's talking to, but this doesn't sound like my God. Guess
Yeah,
what, folks? It was,
it
because
was. Yeah.
when I went into meditation and I was shown,
Hmm.
I was told by your family and my team also that this was not shared with me, because I needed to hold on to the frequency and the vibration of everything's going to be okay. Because I'll
Okay.
tell you
Yeah.
what, people, it was not okay. Because none of this was okay. If they
Yeah.
had shown me what they showed you, Kimberly, or whatever what I saw, holy mother of God, no.
It was
Just
supposed to be the end of the world as you know it. It was supposed to be the end. They were okay. So here's the thing is because the frequencies are raising so high, and they know that they're on borrowed time and they're on the way
yes.
out. In their little evil brains, they were thinking we're going to take out as much of the earth as we can with us before we're booted. All right. So they were going to annihilate the entire planet.
100%. But
Mhm.
enough of us were holding on to the frequency and the vibration
Of
of love and
love
light.
and
None of
peace.
this toxic,
Hmm.
um, and
Hmm.
there are enough of us, and that,
Hmm.
okay, thank you, everyone, because there are enough of us who do believe in the power of positive focused intention.
And
There are enough
meditation,
of us
prayer. Yeah.
who are saying, okay, yes, horrible things are happening. What's happening in Gaza, and I just, it's horrible. But at the end of the day, there are enough of us who
Mhm.
want to promote a better place without greed, without that toxic rage, without toxic corruption. I
Mhm.
mean, it's running rampant. My husband and I talked about that at dinner.
Mhm.
And it's just congratulations, people, really.
Yeah,
And
we need
that's
to
why I'm
congratulate
here.
all of you watching because I know for a fact that pretty much almost everyone who follows me either meditated or prayed on the day of the eclipse or before and leading up to it. And all of the hard work that you all did, and like our friend
And the
Ishmael
grandmothers,
Perez
grandmother
and other
Florida Mayo,
people.
all of the grandmothers,
Yeah,
there's a bunch of people I
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Earth Mama up in North Carolina. I mean, she had my crystal skull. Well,
right.
we don't own crystal skulls, we're caretakers, but she
Yeah.
had Leah Rose, and Leah Rose is coming back. Yes. But it's there were ceremonies that people held in private. Like, people
Hmm.
were not going around, and it was a
Announcing to
very
the, yeah.
private thing,
Hmm.
even in my neighborhood. And I'll tell you what, people who don't normally, like, I have a couple of friends that just sincerely, everybody, a lot of people, even I, wanted to go take a nap.
Hmm.
I mean, there was a period about 12:12 that, and I saw it on my phone, and I even posted it. It was right around 12:12 that people just started taking naps.
Yeah, I did the same thing. And then after I woke up from my nap, I started crying, and then I was crying like all day long. And that was the grieving. So what I realized was it was the grieving for the other timeline of the annihilation of all the people. And it was all just kind of coming up to to be
So I
released.
want people
Or
to understand that they can be prepared for things that are happening. For some people, it might be very it'll just be kind
Mhm.
of like a synchronicity. But I lost my harmony pendant. Okay. I thought I left it at my daughter's house months ago, like three, four, like around Christmas. Remember, I was so
Mhm.
upset because
You were
Kimberly
really
gave this
upset.
to me. She
Yeah, I
got
gave
this for
that to
me
her
as a
for a present.
gift.
Yeah.
And I loved it because it works. I'm not, and this is not a shameless plug. I'm telling you, people, it works. And I was so upset. And finally I told Kimberly, like, I'm so sorry, but I lost my harmony pendant, and
Hmm.
she's like, no, you're gonna find it.
Yeah, I knew she was going to find it. I knew she was going to
Guess
find
what?
it.
Last night it showed up on my nightstand. On
Yep.
my nightstand. I,
Hmm.
I'm not going to show you pictures of my nightstand because it's my altar too. But the bottom line is that I looked everywhere, people. I looked
Hmm.
everywhere. And this morning it showed up. And
Hmm.
other things are showing up, like emails that people say they didn't get. I have a couple of
Hmm.
emails that I'm talking, even, um, well, I won't give names, but the bottom line is that you're going to notice, and it's really interesting.
Weird things happening, really
It's
weird
not
things
Mercury
happening.
retrograde, people. We
No,
jumped a
we jumped a
timeline.
timeline. Hmm. Yeah. So I asked and I found out we jumped a timeline at 5 p.m. on the 7th of the day before it was
Right?
at 5 p.m. And here's how I found out we jumped because I actually thought I was losing my shit. I thought I was losing my mind. So this is embarrassing, but I happen to have a partner who snores in bed every night, all night long. And the only way I can sleep is because I buy big bottles of earplugs and I wear them all night long. Well, I had two brand new bottles of earplugs and they were sealed with the hermetic, seal on the top. And then they had a cap on top of that, right? 3 nights ago, 4 nights ago, whatever it was, I had opened, this was before the 7th. I had opened the bottle up, tore off the seal, threw it away in the trash, gone. Okay. Took out two earplugs and wore them. The next evening, and this was the evening of the 7th after the time shifted. This was like at midnight. Okay. So 7 hours later from when it shifted, I go to get the bottle and take two new ones out. It was hermetically sealed, like I had never opened it ever. It's like it was never opened. And I'm like, okay, am I losing my shit? Because I know for a fact I took two of them out of there and I wore them and I threw the seal out. There's no seal. So just to prove that I was not insane, I went over to my nightstand where I had set those two that I had taken out of the bottle, and they were still there on the nightstand. Now, I don't have magic powers. I cannot take a thing that's covered on the top and make items come up through the paper and alchemize
You
them
should
out.
see your hand though. It's
Yeah.
disappearing. It's
Yeah.
disappearing in the cup. She does have magic powers, people.
Yeah. So I don't really have those kind of magic powers. I have other powers, but not those. And so there's no way in hell that those two that were sitting on the nightstand could have magically come out of a totally hermetically sealed jar.
I don't know. Maybe it's nightstand magic, people, but I mean, everybody go check your nightstands for stuff that you
For weird
got.
missing stuff.
Yeah,
And weird,
because I mean,
yeah.
and now that you mention it, I have
Mhm.
that's interesting. I have a bottle of oh gosh, uh it's a linseed oil. It's like they're little capsules. They're like,
Yeah.
gosh, I can't remember it's not oregano oil, it's something else. It's I don't know, whatever. Anyways, I looked at it just yesterday in my medicine cabinet because I was going to put some on a Q-tip from my ear because my ear was
Hmm.
kind of like hurting,
Hmm.
and because I don't use antibiotics. Ugh. Not unless I absolutely have to, darlings. But it was sealed. And I
Hmm.
knew that I had opened it at one point. So that kind of that's I didn't even think of that. I was just like, well, maybe I had two bottles or something. I don't know. But now I'm thinking, everybody go look at all your stuff. It could be brand new.
Well, I did the same thing with this jar of those things. And I'm like, well, maybe it was the other bottle that I opened because I bought two bottles. So I went and I grabbed the second bottle, and that was also hermetically sealed. So I'm like,
Yeah, no, that's
yeah.
yeah,
And I,
that's getting a little extreme, and this is a
yeah.
little extreme. Like
Hmm.
and not only that, I actually even changed my lamp out too in the
Hmm.
last 3 months. It would have shown up. I would have seen it, people. I
Hmm.
mean, it's like my nightstand's not that big. It's
Yeah, right.
like
I know
15
mine's a
by
little tiny
15.
thing.
You know,
So
it's I got a couple of books and that's about it, really. But
yeah.
it's just there are so many things that have happened
Hmm.
that over the last 24, 48 hours
Hmm.
that I honestly, I've kind of I got to admit, man, I've changed my whole paradigm because what I
Yep.
also felt after you were crying,
Hmm.
I was angry and I felt like I was being psychically attacked. I don't feel that way because I know people send all kinds of negatory vibes
Hmm.
all the time. I mean, there's my God, there's 9 billion people out there that hate us. I, I truly felt it, and I literally had to go pull some cards from my cosmic triage because I'm like, after everything I saw and I felt, I'm like, okay, oh my God, it's like they're all they hate me. It's like, and you know me, I don't that's not my vibe, people.
You
I
don't
don't
worry about
worry.
it. You don't
I
let
know
that
I'm
kind of thing.
protected.
Yeah.
And so I really had to wrap myself in the people I love and the people in the White Light Express and my guardians of the grid and it's just I began wrapping us in this beautiful white light with golden threads because
Hmm.
I felt attacked. I
Hmm.
could just, it felt like darts were coming at me. And it was like that. And so in prayer and meditation, I was told that's because they failed, Sarah.
Yeah.
That's because they failed. And I heard that. And it was like, let's face it, come on. The Sith Lords, they're poor losers.
Yeah.
you
I felt
know?
like extreme grief and loss. And I almost think that a lot of that was because we were in the multiverse in that situation. And then when I came into my body, I realized, oh my God, billions of people are dead. They're dead.
And I
They're
think
gone. They're
actually
dead.
too,
Yeah.
some of the work that we're doing out there
Yeah.
is we are bringing people who are kind of like vibrating in both places and they might think they're going a little nuts. You're not, just
Hmm.
come on over the light. And they're
Hmm.
afraid because they think they're dying.
Yeah.
And it's like, even, you gave me that call right before, and it was like you were talking about some crazy pants person.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was just No, some people are actually crazy, and some people who
Yeah,
think
I was
they are.
contacted by somebody who's actually a Looney Tune, like an actual crazy person, not
We
a
won't talk
person who,
about that. We're just
yeah,
gonna,
we won't talk
yeah,
about it. But every now and then I have people who actually have mental illness who will
yeah.
contact me, and I feel so sorry for them. I feel bad for
Just
them,
you
but
have to bless them and move on
yeah,
from that, because
yeah.
that's why, better living through pharmaceuticals, I say. Nothing that 8 milligrams of Haldol can't help. Just like, as a behavioral health specialist, and especially with, understanding the biology of trauma, it does. We are all being traumatized again and again,
Mhm.
and we keep getting
Yep.
back up, people. We keep getting back up, and that's the message.
Yep.
Just, I know it's rough out there. I know
Yep.
financially people are really, really suffering. People are losing their jobs, especially tax season. Oh my God, property taxes. Talk about
Mhm.
corrupt toxicity. Whoo, baby. Mm.
Right? I just thought of that song, that one that goes, I get knocked down, but I get up again. Nothing's ever going to keep me down. You know that song?
Of course I do.
Yeah.
I'm a child of the
Yeah.
80s,
Pissing
the
the
90s.
night
I had
away.
children in the
Anyways.
90s.
Yeah, that song is hilarious because it's true. I mean, it should be my theme song because my whole life I get knocked down, I get up again, and it's like
I think it's
whatever.
more of a pugilist kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So what you all need to know, this is what you all need to know. So we are on a new timeline. When I was I was out in the sun meditating today before they sprayed chemtrails, because yep, they sprayed them again. But before they sprayed chemtrails, the sky
Good
was
job,
all
chemtrails.
blue. Yeah, and I was out there in the sun right before they started laying them down, and I was meditating, and you know what I realized? The earth feels lighter and fluffier somehow. I was
It
like, yeah,
does.
there's
It
something lighter.
really
There's something
does.
lifted, something
So,
lifted.
it's like,
So,
let's keep, putting the
yeah.
the smiley faces in the sky. There are
Hmm.
people who are combating that in their own way. I mean,
Hmm.
some people save the whales. I try to save humans and
Hmm.
whales and trees and
Hmm.
fairies. But the thing
Definitely
is, I
fairies.
want to save them all.
Right. We do want to save them all, but
Some people just
even
don't want to be
even
saved.
Esau wasn't able to save them all. So, what can I say?
But that's the message,
Yeah.
people. So
Hmm.
keep coming back. And put your questions down there, and Kimberly and I will
Yeah,
see
we'll
what we
answer
can do
them. If you
about
have
answering them.
questions, put them in the comments. We'll answer them. But the biggest thing that you need to know is if you're watching this telecast, you survived the end of the world. You're on the good
We're
timeline.
going
You're
to
not
make
on the one.
t-shirts. I
Yeah.
survived the end of the
Yeah,
world.
exactly. When you're not on the
You
timeline where
get a
they
free prize,
destroy
and you get a free
everything,
prize,
and
and you get a free prize.
yeah, and the vampires take over because they're unkillable. So then they take over and they eat everybody that's left. And
No,
yeah.
because we were over there in a different timeline, but now we're here, and we just get to watch ourselves like a really weird television show. It's like, and we spoke Russian.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, because we knew you left out the part of how we had superpowers because we
No, I think I
actually
said something about it, but yeah, no, I mean that was the one thing that I wish I could take back, because when
Mhm.
the fecal matter hit the whirling apparatus, darling,
we came into our superpowers and
a
then
lot of us
some.
did.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
us did,
Yeah.
and yeah, basically
Mhm.
we were unkillable,
We
unstoppable.
were
We could
unkillable. Yep.
levitate, and we
Hmm.
could levitate really, like, we
Yep.
got groups of us. We were levitating a ship out of water
Yep.
to
We were
move it.
levitating big giant buildings too.
Mhm.
Remember the buildings that we were
Yep.
we were moving
We
buildings.
had to lift
Yeah.
them, and I mean, but it was not
Hmm.
fun. Okay, it was post-apocalyptic. It was terrifying.
Yeah, it
um,
was pretty scary.
yeah, and ugly, and not very clean.
Yeah, I woke up with my heart palpitating quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't often wake up on the verge of a panic attack. I've
Hmm.
had a panic attack once in my life,
Hmm.
and I have honor to everyone who has them often, because I'm so sorry. I thought I
Hmm.
was dying. But anyways, the bottom line is that, it was just awful, and I can't deny it. Like, I
Hmm.
can't deny what I saw. I can't deny the fact that Kimberly and I both had the same experience, and there's no way. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you're not going to have the exact same, like really complicated dream, really intricate
And it
dream. You're
wasn't a
not going to
dream.
have that.
That's just it.
That's not a
And you
dream.
know,
Yeah.
more than the Russian vampires, no, I got to tell you, the exploded mud balloons or whatever they were just floating in the air. That was weird.
I still don't know what that
I
was. I
don't
haven't
know what
figured
that
it
was
out.
either,
I
but it
haven't
was like
figured
that
it out.
it was yeah, I don't know. I could talk to a couple scientists.
It's like dirty plasma mixed
Yeah,
with radioactive. They're
yeah.
radioactive is what I'm
And I
picking up.
think they were just like it was like
Yeah.
the particles were like attached to it. They're kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
like hematite does. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like magnetic. And I think we were trying to keep all of the toxicity like I don't know though, because like I was driving through them like kapow. You know?
Well, and the earth was like breaking apart, and there was also a thing going on with the, what do they call that, where you're stuck on the earth? What are they, the gravity? There was something going on with the gravity. So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Well, okay, but we're here.
Mm-hmm.
So, congratulate yourself, go light a candle, go get some cake. Will there be
Right.
cake?
Right. And I've shut down a lot of those kind of timelines in the past. I mean, over the last, I want to say going back to I started shutting down these timelines back in 2011, around 2011.
Everyone, Kimberly and I used to meet on a spaceship. And I haven't seen you or I in that place,
I
but there
haven't
was
been there in
a
a
place that
while.
she and I would meet,
Yeah.
and it was like a starship, and we
This is a
would
big
describe like
mothership.
exactly the same thing. Like it
Yeah.
was, and other people too. They
Mm-hmm.
they that God, that was pre-pandemic.
Well, there's so many times you all, when I'm out in the ethers in the multiverse traveling, and Sarah shows up, and I'm like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "I got your back in case anything goes south." Remember the time I called you about the hair parlor back when I was time traveling, and it was 19, what was it,
That
60s
was
or
yeah, and
something? It was 1960s. It was
wow.
New Jersey and a hair salon. And the reason I knew you were really there is you made the comment to me first. What did you think of those really cool gold mirrors on the walls? And I'm like, shit, there's no way she could have known that unless she was there. And I saw her there. And
I
then
was there.
she's, yeah, and I'm like, what, why were you there? She said, I was your backup in case everything went south.
Yeah, no, every once in a while I get called in, because I'm a
Yeah.
mercenary for God. They don't call me
Yeah.
Seraphim for nothing, darling. I'm a
Well, and
flaming sword.
you are a seraphim.
All
You are a
right, so we're
seraphim.
gonna wrap it up so we can
Yep.
put this out there. Maybe we can even get it out there this evening.
Yeah, that would be cool to get it out this evening. I told everybody we were going to get it out soon. But yeah, this is just a short, sweet video. We just wanted to tell you all, congratulations. You made it to the
You
new
made it, and I
positive
made it too,
timeline.
and I believe now. I'm
Yeah.
a believer. Okay, I
Yeah.
believe. I finally joined the troops. I'm like, I'm in like Flynn because I'm like, what the?
Oh, I have a little more important things to say. So between now and the end of this year, what Yeshua, what he said is things are going to be devolving and evolving on a very slow how do you want to say pace, because they can't give you everything all at once. So are we
No.
going to receive healing? Yes, but you're not going to receive the healing overnight. It's going to happen very slowly over the course of this year. By the end of this year, he said by November 4th, our world's going to look very different. Society, everything's going to be very different. We're going to be physically different because we're going to supposedly the first group of people who are going to 5D, because he had explained to me we were going to be going to 5D in what, 2 or 3 different groups. The first group that's going to 5D is going to be there by the end of the year. By November, we're going to have our crystalline
I really believe
bodies and all
people
that.
like you and occasionally even me and others, I think we vibrate between 5D and where we're at now. And I think in order for us, because I look at what happened in the experience that wasn't a dream, but a vision of how things might have been. And, like it's I just, but the thing is I don't think that if everybody, well, okay, first of all, not everyone has the ability to channel and work from home and do what we do. I'm incredibly blessed. I worked my ass off since I was 14. And, I'm incredibly blessed to be able to do this on a day in, day out basis, because
Mhm.
I still have to take out the trash and do the laundry and, pay my electric bill. And
Yeah,
by the
me
way, you can
too.
find me
Yeah.
at supernaturalpassport.com or whitelightexpress.org if you want to,
Mhm.
find me out there and we can chit chat. But more importantly, I'm so blessed to be able to do this. And I tell my husband all the time, it's not easy being married to Noah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sarah, build me a boat. It's like, all right, God, give me your credit card. I'll do it for you. But
Yeah.
not everyone has this capability. And a lot of people they want to go into the healing business, and,
Yeah.
it just takes money and it takes time, and so many of us are living in poverty, and
Mhm.
and that needs to change.
That is what's going to change. The financial system is going to change. And I was just telling my client earlier today, because she wanted to know about that and about the 5D, what we call the 5D financial system versus the 4D financial system. So let
There
me
is no
explain.
money.
Yeah, in 5D, there's no money at
There's
all.
no money.
It's a
I mean,
barter
it's
system.
like
It's a
what you
barter
bring to the
system.
table is what you bring to the table, but you
Yeah.
can be cared for.
Yeah.
You won't
Yep.
worry about anything.
Everything's taken care of. However, there's going to be what they call an interim period
Mhm.
between now and that.
100%.
And
And
during the
let's not,
interim,
I still don't want to put a timeline on it,
no.
because, I woke
Oh,
up,
I'm not
I
putting a
woke up
timeline.
last night or this morning and there was this,
Right.
it could happen.
Yeah.
I'm
Anything
just
can
like,
happen.
hey,
We
as long
don't
as
know.
there's
I
no
don't,
Russian vampires.
yeah, I never put a timeline, but all I'm saying is there's going to be an interim period between when everyone on the earth is in 5D versus when part of the people are and part aren't. So in
Right.
the,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and so the time period between now and when everybody is fully 5D, there will be a new system that's going to come out that's going to be what they call the quantum system, and it is going to be a prosperous
And it's actually
prosperity
in
for
place in
everyone.
a lot of civilizations,
Yeah,
our far friends,
yeah.
and that's part of
Iran,
the issue with
Brazil,
regard
whole bunch of
to
places.
karmic exchange
Yeah.
and the money exchange. There has to
Yeah.
be an exchange of energy. So they're working on the physics. That's what CERN's screwing up right now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, that was the other thing that I saw. I was like, wow.
CERN, every time they turn it on, it does very bad things. Very bad
Yeah,
things.
but now we're able to, we could flip a bitch on that bitch.
Well, and you saw the meme going around Facebook today, which is Yeshua emerging out of the Hadron
Oh,
Collider,
yes, that
and
was
all the
amazing.
scientists running like this with their arms screaming in terror because it was Yeshua, because they turned it on and out came Yeshua floating. He's floating in the air with
Yeah.
his white robe, and all the reptilian scientists are all
Basically,
running
that's
like
what's
that.
happening. So, I mean,
Yeah,
there's certain things that we can
yeah,
worry about. And it's just like there's nothing you can do about chemtrails, okay? There's
yep,
nothing you can do about CERN.
nope.
There's nothing you can do about certain things in your life. So stop hyper
Yeah,
focusing
don't
on
worry
what
about
you
it.
can't change, because
Hmm.
there are people in the system that are working on it. Let's not forget there's the good guys out there too.
Yep.
Take care of your families, all right?
Hmm.
Don't worry about that stuff. I mean, yes, be aware that it's there, but if it's going to screw up your
Yeah.
day-to-day life and you're going to live in fear, stop it. Call Kimberly, call me, call somebody that can kind of
To
bring
can
you back
counsel
to
you and help
square
you. And
one.
yeah, I have to tell everybody a funny joke. So
And then
Isa,
we'll end with that.
yeah, Yeshua has such an amazing sense of humor. So I was asking him what's going on with the CERN thing, and he said that the heroes from the stars were dealing with it. And I'm like, what do you mean by the heroes from the stars? He was talking about the galactic federal, whoever they are, those
Yeah.
people that are working, the beings that are out
The
there working
international
with
or
us.
the Intergalactic Federation of
He
Light.
calls them the heroes from the stars.
I
That's
love that. Let's call them the
yeah.
heroes. Let the heroes from the stars deal with the stuff because you're not quantum physicists, okay, people?
Yeah.
Take care of your children, make sandwiches.
He said they're taking care of it. He said not to
Good.
worry
I
about the
know that.
CERN. because he said that they were taking care of it.
And we don't need their names because you can't
No.
write them emails anyways. All right,
Right.
people, go be big. You
Yeah.
lived, you survived.
We love you. We
I
love
love
you.
you.
Love you too.